Welcome to Stillwater Edge, the ultimate podcast for stillwater fly fishing enthusiasts. I'm your host, Greg Keenan, and in each short, action-packed episode, I'll share expert tips, essential techniques, and clever tricks to help you elevate your stillwater fly fishing game to the next level.
Welcome to the Stillwater Edge podcast. I'm your host, Greg Keenan, and today we're going to flip the script and talk about what the trout are eating above the surface, because trout don't eat just what swims, they crush what falls, right? We're talking terrestrial flies, hoppers, beetles, ants, which are often overlooked in lakes. But when fished right, they can trigger explosive topwater eats, which we all love. So let's dive right into it, why and when and how to fish when these bugs land in still waters. So let's break down this episode. I broke this episode down into 5 quick tips, as I found that this is more of a reminder for our seasoned stillwater anglers that are listening. And this is something to keep in mind if you're a newer stillwater angler. So let's go. Why terrestrials work in lakes? Well, stillwater trout aren't just subsurface feeders. They're opportunists. They will feed where the food is. That's right. They will eat what the food is. So wind and shoreline activity often knock these bugs and hoppers and stuff like that into the water, which makes it super easy for the trout to peg off and eat. These are dry land insects that fall into water. So they're, like a fish out of water, if you will. So they become distressed and panic and swim. And the trout know that they're easy targets for them to peg off and eat, which is why it works so well. These bugs also act differently than in aquatic insects, creating easy targets. It's the number one reason why terrestrials really work in lakes. Number 2 is the prime conditions when to use terrestrials. So some of the prime conditions is late spring through fall, especially in windy conditions. So if it's a windy condition, chances are that something has been on shore, the wind's blowing that bug into the water. Fish shows that littoral zone again, that from the shore out, I don't know, 40 feet, 50 feet, whatever it is, right? That littoral zone, you're going to see each lake kind of has its own littoral zone. I need you to focus on that. Focus on areas with overhanging vegetation. These are key areas as well. As prime times or gusty afternoons. Post thunderstorms are also a good time to fish terrestrials. Really good time to fish it. The rain hits, it's pushing those bugs into the water as well. So ideally on calm days where topwater is visible and high, like the fish are high in the topwater and you can see visible topwater action, that's another great time to fish it, right? There's nothing wrong with trying to cast out like a hopper or a full ant during that time. And you can tell, right? You can see when those fish are actually zoned in on ants that day, flying ants, and they just smash them, full on them. They get full on them. The feed is on, but then unfortunately it does shut down. So for a day or two afterwards. Number 3 is top terrestrial patterns to pack, right? So hoppers, number 1. I love fishing hoppers on still waters. So it's a big buoyant fly. It kicks up a ruckus. It's great for summer bank, like in the summertime, fishing against the banks or doing your bank work. Again, casting those short casts, working that bank in the daytime, if you will, if there's a trout cruising around in those shoal areas, looking for an easy meal, right? Beetles as well. They work at calm surface, get a foam body beetle, perfect. You want versions that are going to float really well for beetles. So last is ants. Ants are extremely effective during the flying ant falls, which, when you fish flying ants, it is lights out on fire. Like the fish put the feed on. It is so good. Going a day or two later, after that, the fishing sucks for a few days because those fish are shut down. From what I was told, there's a chemical in those ants that just really hurts their stomach, gives them like gut rot for a few days, and they just need to get better and pass that. That's what I was told. Reliable source told me that as well. So how to fish them. Floating lines, long leaders, 9-foot plus leaders, of course, cast into the banks, tight cast to the bank, into shaded tree areas, drift zones. There's nothing wrong with casting and letting it drift right through your area that you're kind of working. That is a really effective method. Again, giving it movement, give it a little twitch, pop, something like that, because again, you want to animate that fly so that it looks like it's a fish out of water and it's struggling. Again, you can also let it sit there. There's nothing wrong with that. Stillwater trout often study these insects before making that commitment. They'll watch it and study, like, hey, should I eat that? What is it? Kind of thing before making that commitment. So again, those are key ways to fish it. There's nothing wrong with switching it up and find what's going to work for you for that trout for that day. So bonus tip is consider pairing terrestrials with a dropper if you're allowed to, like a dry dropper setup. Fantastic, right? A small nymph underneath. This is perfect. If you're permitted to do that in your area, This is a great way that you're going to actively like double down, and effectively work your still waters even more effective with one rod. On glassy days, also size down your tippet for a stealthier approach. Again, go into a smaller tippet when it's smooth glass out there. That's a great time if you're going to fish a foamant. Again, you really want to size that down, but still have the strength there because the takes are unbelievable. So always watch the fly, slow takes, slips, sips, or whatnot. You know, for slow takes, the trout can come up and kind of suck that fly right in and spit it out instantly, and half the time you've missed it. But there's also those savage takes, which we all love, especially with the hoppers. You know what, guys, that's it for today's show of the Stillwater Edge. Do not overlook what the wind blows in. Bugs can turn a slow day into a topwater highlight. Absolutely. If you like this episode and you found value in this episode, please like this episode, subscribe to the show, guys. I'm really trying to push this show and get it to explode a bit more here. And I really could use your support. You help me, I'll help you. I promise. I'll give you what you guys want for the content. Again, that's kind of where it's at. So again, like, follow, share. Please help me out. I will support you. Thanks for supporting me. As always, guys, I'll see you on the water.